What's up, YouTube? Like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Well, I was I went to the mall today, right? And man, I seen this young lady. She was fine as wine. She was dressed from head to the toe. Had her hair whipped up. Had a nice skirt, like with heels on. I'm like, dang. I said, Shorty looking good. So I had to fake, do a flea flicker and fake like, I was looking for something just to, you know, get another look. But see, when I looked at the kid, looked like the boy was about 9, 10 years old. And when I looked at him from head to toe, he had a nice outfit on. But man, I promise that boy had the raggediest shoes on. But then she had bags. And this is what I say, that it's sad. She had bags, but I don't know how his shoes look at home. But she had bags, and all the bags, he kept saying, Mom, can I get these shoes? She wouldn't buy the boy stuff. But then she still was picking up stuff to buy her. I told you I'd get your shoes later. I just got you school clothes. But I know this woman had to have about $500 or $600 worth of stuff. So I'm looking like, so me being the type of dude I am, I remember how unfortunate I was when I was growing up. Because back then, people just didn't have a lot of money. I don't care if your mama had a good job or whatever the case may be. If you got a lot of kids, you got a lot of kids. And everybody can't get the finer things. So, man, I'm going to tell you something, man. I could see myself in that little boy just thinking about the Protex and the Winner's Choice and stuff that I used to wear when I was a kid. Then they came out with Troops, and man, they had penny loafers. I just remember, like, and the boy had on, what he had on? He had on like some Air Force Ones, and they looked like they was about 3 or 4 years old. And I'm sitting there looking at her, then I'm looking at him like, I was like, ma'am, because I thought she was fine. But after I listened to them go back and forth about she wasn't buying him nothing, and I just got you school clothes, and I felt bad. And I'm like, I was looking at her, but now I don't want to date no chick like that. You fresh to death, but the kid not. I never understood that. So I was like, ma'am, I said, I see your kid in me. I said, I ain't trying to be disrespectful or nothing like that. And I said, would you care if I buy him a pair of shoes? I'm just, trying to be a realist. You know what I'm saying? And man, you wouldn't believe the comment that came out her mouth. Oh, you ain't got to buy my son nothing. You can spend that on me. I'm like, that just made the situation even worse. So I was like, man, I just seen something in the little boy. I say he seemed like he a really good kid, respectful. And I just feel like I can afford to buy him a pair of shoes. I say you already look. I just basically say you already look good. I say shit. I'm really like you fine as hell. But I say if it's not my business, I know it's not my business. But where is dad? Oh, she say I guess the dad locked up. So I said, can I buy the little boy a pair of shoes? At the end of the story, she was like, no, but you can buy some stuff for me. So I'm like, all right, man. I said, so, I was like, well, I ain't mean no disrespect. I said, I got to go. So I turn around and get ready to walk out the door. And she was like, sir, I guess you can get him a pair of shoes. And I ain't never seen a look on a kid's face. It just reminded me of like, I could just imagine how she treat this little boy. And the way my life is, 2 days I spent $100 worth of gas anyway. So I bought the little boy a pair of shoes. You know what I'm saying? Bought him a little pair of Jordans. They was like 125, something like that. You know. And then when I tried to leave, she tried to give me a phone number, and I was like, man, I said I just wanted to be nice, and I said I got a girl, but y'all take care. Well, the girl went so far. She was like, well, that don't matter. Can I at least have your number so you can probably mentor my child a little bit? So basically, I went on, gave him my number, and I was like, yeah. So just have your baby. I just say, just have your son call me sometime. And I said, when I got time, I could either take him, and I ain't got. You could just meet me somewhere, and I could play basketball or something with him. Because it seemed like he's pretty tall, and with a little guidance, he probably can be really good in basketball. So, so the boy called me, like, what time is it? I guess it was like, let me check. All right, it's like 6:15. He called me like 6:15. He was like, man, I want to thank you for getting me the shoes. And he was like, I nobody's never did anything like that for me. And I was like, man, I just seen something in you. So, and I said, no problem. He was like, hey, would you like to come by? I was like, come by when? He was like, you could come by like 7:30. I was like, no. I said we could pick some time during the daytime, and I go play basketball with you. And so the mom snatches the phone from him. I was trying to invite you over. I said, ma'am, I don't mean no disrespect. I said, but just take your time. I said, if it's meant for me to try to hang out with you, I will. But make this about your child, you know. And I could just tell. It's like this woman was getting ready to cuss me out. But I guess she said, no, I guess she came to her senses, because she's like, dang, this dude probably will help me with my kid. That's probably what went through her head. But I'm going to tell you something, man. People that's out here, how you gonna look good and the kid ain't looking good? The kid should look good, then you look good, in my opinion. Because that's how I was, you know. And I done dated women that had kids. And I done did for their kids. I guess just like I feel sorry for people sometimes. But a lot of times. Because I done helped a whole lot of people. But, the help never get returned. Nobody never helped me when I need help. But the little dude seemed like he got a good head on his shoulders, and I can't wait to play basketball with the little dude. But I might have to fight his mother off, because her morals ain't like mine are. So definitely I won't be trying to talk to her in no kind of way, shape, or form. But kids don't deserve to suffer just because the dad's locked up. You can go out here and get you some this and that, but you gotta wait months to buy the kids shoes when all the other kids at school got brand new shoes on. School just started back. How the hell you wait till the last minute to buy school clothes, but then still don't got him his first pair of shoes? And I promise you, probably in about another week, I'm probably gonna buy him another pair of shoes. But the moral of the story is, man, put your kids first, and I'm out.